Brian Bourgerie, are you in the house here? I would love
Yep.
to kind of dovetail into investment trends that you all are seeing. So, Invest Puerto Rico, Grant Thornton connected me with Invest Puerto Rico. Brian is a part of that organization. And Brian, thank you and your group for supporting in the ways that you have to get. I mean, we aren't at this point without you, without everybody here that's spoken, been engaged, and I thanked everyone. But Brian, we've gotten to know each other as well, and if you want to speak to investing trends that you're seeing, I mean, through uncommon entrepreneurs and all of the insights that you have from Invest Puerto Rico, I know it's asking a lot to do in like 5 minutes or so, but like, what are you seeing, man? And thank you for
Sure.
being here.
So rapid fire. For those who don't know, I work with Invest Puerto Rico in charge of investment, innovation, entrepreneurship efforts. I also run a very large entrepreneur and investor network of about 3,000 people here on the island as well, kind of come entrepreneurs. So I have a pretty good view of things from multiple standpoints. And then I run the investment platform we built for the island called Impeller. I'll drop a link in a minute. And for what I've been seeing, there's been a shift over the last 9 months in interests, in some of the interests of investors looking at the island. Still reigning number one for most months has been early stage companies, actually. That's been the number one interest. But residential real estate in the last 6 months has creeped up to number two, and for a month or two is actually the most interesting item to investors coming to the island. Commercial real estate's been kind of in the top 4 or 5 for the last 6 months as well. But renewable energy, opportunity zones, I think, is number three pretty consistently for interest levels from investors. And then technology companies. Now, that's what investors are saying. I am seeing real estate deals happening of all sorts, residential developments, hospitality, manufacturing, because we have a lot of companies moving down from that need warehousing, manufacturing, things like that. So there's a huge opportunity for people who are willing to get things ready now, so they're move-in ready for these companies. There's literally billions of dollars looking to move in from that standpoint, needing industrial real estate, but it's normally not ready to move in on day one, or there's not enough of it, I should say, at any given time. So that's an opportunity for anyone who's willing to take it on. We can fill it if we have people getting going on some of those processes for that. Hospitality is still, there's still tons of room for growth. As an island, we're very diverse compared to most. Half of our entire GDP and economy is manufacturing, and hospitality tourism is only 7%. So we still have a lot of room to grow and still not overly affect the broader economy and the resiliency and diversity that we have in that regard. Agriculture has also been an area of interest. Even the first deal we funded on the investment platform was a cacao farm and processing plant. We've had interest in vertical farming and aquaponics. And honestly, across the board, I'm seeing stuff happen in the coconut industry, just you name it. I know DJ is working on some stuff as well, but I've seen a lot in the agriculture side. Something to think about on the business front. There's lots of startups and early stage companies, but there's also a lot of companies that are not new in their existence, but that are expanding into Puerto Rico or looking to set up offices in Puerto Rico. And that could be a really unique opportunity to kind of bridge the gap, saying, okay, well, maybe I want to take advantage of opportunity zones, but I don't necessarily want to take the chance on a brand new startup that's 3 months old sort of thing in that investment and hope that it continues for the length of the opportunity zone investment. But there's opportunity for investing in some of these companies that aren't new, maybe new on the block, but not new in the city, so to speak, or in the world. And I think that could be interesting. It's also just interesting on the investment side. So I have just registered in our investment platform around 850 investors that have signed up since August. And that's ranging everywhere from retail investors to BlackRock and everything in between. So I'm seeing a really diverse interest of investors, and many that are looking to co-invest on the island. And that could be funds or just other investment groups. So getting to know other investors that are doing things, I recommend, because some projects maybe you can't fund entirely yourself, or maybe there just should be a diverse group of investors. So that's something I'd look forward to doing for all those who come out here. And there will be some good events and things going on throughout the week as well, probably both officially and unofficially, with a tour that you can plug into. So that's a spat. Anything else you want me to talk about?
That's the only thing we have time for today is a
Okay.
spat, right?
Then come to Puerto Rico and I'll talk your ear off.
Exactly. No, it's amazing, Brian. And you know, we've got Michael Gay from your organization who's going to be presenting on the first day, and you'll also be showing a little bit about Impeller. So yeah, please feel free to put the link to Impeller and anything else, any resources that you'd like in the chat. You know, one of the things that I loved about our last event was how deep the information is that you all have at Invest Puerto Rico, and how easily and directly it was presented by you all when we were there in person. And so the other thing that's amazing, Brian, is like, you're talking about the last 6 months. You're not talking about like a 5-year curve, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a whole other discussion to talk on that. One last thing I'll say is Puerto Rico is on the upswing economically. We're out of bankruptcy, a bunch of things, hurricanes, whatever. Like, we're on an upswing after a decade or more of recession, where most of the world is on a downwards turn, hopefully not spiral, but at least going downwards. So we're uniquely at an inflection point that we're growing when others are shrinking in that regard. So I think it's a unique point in time, just period, in the history of the world for Puerto Rico and the opportunities here. And yeah, there's a lot. So happy to talk to anyone about anything offline.
Thanks for being here, man. And obviously come down and meet Brian in person at any time, but it'll be hyper focused in July. So so yeah, man, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate our friendship that we formed and all the conversations we've had on the side as well. So so thank you. And